Higher. Lower. Take one.
The Luxley show is real good fun, with two great hosts, not just the one. With a shelf of love and awful jokes, I tune in each week, and so should you folks.
Welcome to the Luxley show.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Huxley, the award-winning Isle of Wight magician. On this week's show...
It's in.
Stop the clock!
And this?
The blue one is not on the left, it's on the...
Right.
Wrong.
So if you mix red and blue together, you get purple.
But first...
What have you been up to, Leah?
Oh, I started college. Learning again. I'm doing Indian head massage, which is cool.
And you will be head massaging real Indians?
Well, it's a possibility, I suppose.
On Friday night is a beautiful event called Reading Between the Lines. Poetry and spoken word and magic and all entwined. So at the White Rock Bar this Friday, starting from about 7:30, come down and check out Reading Between the Lines. This is the poster. You'll see the poster here. And yeah. Ah, Friday. My second favourite F word.
What goes up the chimney down, but can't go down the chimney up?
Talking of Adam Gattrell, this is the Adam Gattrell Luxley Show special. It's a good look. We've been doing a hell of a lot of chatting and interviewing and stuff with Adam, and first one is coming up now.
Hello.
I'm here with
Adam.
For years and years, I've known some creative creatures and some fantastic people that I've found along the way, and this is by far one of the most creative people that I know.
I'm Adam Gattrell, if you want to find me. I do drawing, I do poetry, I do music, drawing, illustration, painting, sometimes sculptures. Trying to draw my own comic book called Jim.
So you had an inspiration with a comic book, and this was it a specific type of comic book, or was it within DC, was it Marvel, was it Black Horse?
Black Horse, 2000 AD, Marvel, the Beano. You have to have the Beano, you're British. When you're a kid, Beano or Dandy. Dandy's not there anymore, so it's just Beano now.
I should point out, Adam is one of my one-stop shops, him and Doogie. If I have any comic book references and I get really stuck, I'm usually texting away to try and find out. Who is Deathlock, Adam? Who is Deathlock this week on Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yes, I don't know who it was, so I come to you. So what was your comic book called?
Well, the first one called Jim, and he was literally a stick man. But that evolved, and then I created a character with a large toe on the top of his head and a very thin neck.
It's Toe Tapper?
Yes.
Oh, I remember this.
Toe Tapper. And he's an alien who comes from a race of hunters, and he's been banished. And he's now travelling the universe in a tiny egg ship, trying to find somewhere new and happy and nice to live.
Did you have inspirations for... Because, I mean, it reminded me of stuff like Ren and Stimpy, Earthworm Jim, that kind of thing. But obviously you love toes. Why toes?
I don't know. I think it's just I like drawing them. They're interesting to draw because everyone's got cracks and veiny bits and bits of skin hanging off. And I like that element of Ren and Stimpy, that when they zoom in and you've got all the gritty bags under the eyes and lines. And yeah, I love that gritty, horrible...
Grimy, nasty.
Grimy, ugh. It's pen and ink. Maybe a blue pencil to get your idea down, and then you go over it with the ink, and then add colours either through watercolour pencils are quite good to get a sort of almost naturey, realistic feel. But then I really love ink, just pens and Sharpies, and you've seen the way I work. I just sit there and happily draw for hours.
Over the top of this video, hopefully I'm going to go and speak to our editing and technical department, and they're going to be putting some footage right now as we speak of you actually helping me create and construct a design that we did today.
Oh, well, yeah.
So run us through the processes and the ideas that we went through as we went through them.
We wanted a logo. That's what it was, wasn't it? A logo. Trying to put the right colours together, trying to get the right shapes, trying to think what would be worth putting in it. Do you want the whole name of the show? might be a bit too much for people to read. They want something they can remember straight away. So we looked at maybe using the L of Luxley and maybe the S of show, and we tried that with different shapes behind, just using a blue pencil at the moment, just, you know, working it out. And then from that stage you work out which design works best, and in the end we ended up thinking that Lux instead of LS or L show or Lux show would actually work better, just those 3 letters.
Now, we went through an interesting process of colour management as well to really make the colours pop. So
Yeah.
what did we decide upon?
Well, we could have gone with some of the more obscure ones, but we went with the one that works quite well, which is black, red and white. Black, red and white together, the red makes the white within black in the red stand out.
Really pop.
Yeah, and that's because you've got such contrast in bases, basically. So you've got the colour wheel. You've got your basic 3 colours. You've got yellow, you've got blue, and you've got red. They're your main colours. Now red works really well with black and white, but within your colour wheel you can add extra colours. So if you mix red and blue together, you get purple. Now yellow and purple next to each other is a little bit crazy. It can make your eyes go a bit funny, and that's because they're opposite. You get the same if you go yellow and red, which is orange, next to blue. And the same as when you take yellow and blue and make green and put it next to red. Now we didn't want crazy, so we went with just red with black and white, and that just works best for what we wanted.
At what point did you really feel like that you were an artist?
Probably when my granddad, who's not around anymore, who did watercolour paintings, showed quite an interest in what I was doing, and other members of my family being artists kind of influenced me in different ways. My mum's a abstract artist. Both of my grandfathers painted with watercolours. One did nature, one did scenery, and just having them look at my work and actually show an interest made me go, yeah, that's it, I am an artist, you know, this is what I do that I like, but this is what I do because I have to. So yeah.
A little bit higher. A little bit higher. This week I am into. This week I have been building a claw with Kev. Then you roll on that bit. Oh! Oh! So turn it this way and cut to the end. Okay. Test number 1. There we go. In mould the score. Winner! Up next. Okay.
Right, so yeah, these are some of the early ones. They started out with me just drawing a shape, like an outline, and then drawing inside it until something happened. So on the back you can see the outline, but this one's called a pachyderm pose, kind of like an elephant doing Vogue. Next up, same process, the outline again. It's one of the early ones.
So here we're seeing the toes and the finger and the detail really creeping through into this project as well.
Yeah, that's always passed through everything I do. What I was talking about with the grittiness and the toes. I just like them.
Whereabouts did this whole drawing a shape and trying to fill in the inside of its inspiration come from?
There was a guy on YouTube who did artwork very similar to mine. His was a bit different. He uses splots of ink and then adds to it to make it into something. I kind of like the idea, but wanted to kind of go inward. I like the idea of twisting it. So instead of going from the shape, you're going into it. So I tried a couple out and then sat around friends' houses drawing them, colouring in them, sort of talking to people about stuff and doing what you normally do in the evening. I got a couple of people to draw shapes. And then it kind of evolved and started getting stuff like
Is this
this is one that was drawn by someone, a shape drawn by someone.
So what was the initial shape? What was the initial shape that was drawn?
The initial shape was that.
The black outlining, you see through it there through the colour.
Yeah. So you got the flesh colours and the blue of the rest of the image, but yeah, that's the outline. And yeah, that's Trapped Naked Magruder.
Why is he called Trapped Naked Magruder?
Because he's been stuck in his jumper 1,000 years. He's managed to get the rest of his clothes, like one shoe, his pants, his trousers, but the jumper's just, no, it's got him.
He's stuck.
Then this was another shape done by a friend of mine who's a slightly emo look, shall we say. So I called this Emicated Tumulate, and ended up having...
So you've got eyeballs here.
For toes.
For eyeballs for toes,
Yeah.
but you've still got creeping in here the
Yeah.
big toenail here. There was an obsession all the time.
Yeah, there were some slight obsessions with toes and fingers and stuff. This one was by a guy who runs one of the open mics on the Isle of Wight called Steve Heath. That was his shape.
Hello, Steve.
This was a shape I got him to draw whilst doing some poetry at an open mic night, and it became Steam Powered Heath. And again, it's got some toes in, and an elbow.
And an elbow.
Don't know why.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I wouldn't have said that was an elbow.
No.
Now
it
you
is-
point it out, I understand.
It is an elbow, but it's the weird angle of the giant thumb or finger or toe that's...
And I think this is how far along is this now? This
this is probably about 2 months into doing these.
because the colour, especially for this one here, where you're going in for certain shades and stuff,
Yeah.
is really like so much depth and detail that's going into this. So it looks as though you're starting to develop your style as you get.
Yeah, I spent some money and thought, why not? I'm gonna buy some proper materials, and I bought some graphic art pens called Copics. I think this was Nathan Johnson that did this one. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's got a big nose, got suckers down here, toes, some kind of grapey fruit looking hair. I don't really know. Some of them just happen and you can't explain them. This was my friend Wix. He drew a shape. I think you were there that night actually.
Quite likely.
Yeah,
I did get around.
Yeah. I think we were all sat together playing music, just randomly.
Oh, and you
one
busted
evening.
out one of those then.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this is so again, like with how do you describe the style of art that you're using? Because is it?
It's
an element
illustration, but it's kind
is there
of...
an element of abstract, an element of cubism? Would you say?
I'd say it's kind of maybe abstract in a kind of surrealist way.
Okay,
Kind of,
surreal.
it's almost got that... I quite... One of my favourite artists is Salvador Dali. So
ya.
that, obviously, as an influence, has created using the subconscious to let it draw. And then you think about what you're drawing once you've already got some lines on there. So you've kind of let your brain subconsciously start drawing before you think about it and start adding in the details. So there is that surrealist element, but it's still kind of in the realms of comic book stroke illustration because that's what I love the most.
And what about if you make a mistake? Is it something that you can? Do you ever get and throw it away? I'm like,
I've never thrown one away. I have lots of unfinished and lots of half-dones, but I've never thrown one away.
you hit it here first.
If you find one on the street, then I've lost one. But yeah, so they've all got their place. I kind of feel like they're living in here, and I don't know they're in there. And then once they've drawn, that's then released into the wild.
I like it.
They're kind of like, it's like the reverse of Pokemon. It's like, got to release them all. Don't collect them. No, that's cruel. Just let them wander. Putting them inside a tiny ball is unfair.
This is a bit cool.
Now the next one.
PC.
RSPCP, yeah.
It's terrible.
And then this one's you.
It's me. No, where do you have you any idea where I drew the shape?
This was the same night as the last one.
So was it? Oh right, I remember. So guitar playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to flick through, this is the back design. Now you can see I've gone. Is this? That's mine there.
Yeah.
And then you've had a toe. So we've gone really. It's literally just up, like and down. It's a bit more like wiggly woggly, just straight in like that.
And then you chucked a shape in the middle.
I think I threw him off by thinking, I know, I'll do so, and then he threw that back at me.
Who's called Myrtle Birth Wrangler Coupletardings.
Okay,
which are
so
interesting words.
Yeah. So you can see the heart here.
Yeah.
And why number 4?
I'm assuming your heart's beating in a 4-beat.
I got okay. And I've got a button for an eye.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And some green lips. So I've been sucking off the Hulk.
Something evilly similar.
Yeah. So and a little tail there. Yeah. So that's a beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
I did.
This is Tongue and Groove, which is of a shape my friend Ollie drew.
So you can see you've got proper swirls here, and then
Eleanor's first strange friend. That was a shape.
it happens.
Yeah, he's got little teeth and a mouth here,
But
he's also got a tongue coming out of some sort of belly cavern.
That's cool. I like his necklace around the tongue there.
Yeah,
That's quite nice.
It's got a very Indian, almost Egyptian feel to it.
I think it's quite nice.
He's got little nice glasses, he's got a little pork pie hat, he's got some magical Skittles type outer lip edge going on.
Yeah, that happens as well.
Yeah. I can't really explain a lot of them, they just happen.
But that's the surrealism element to
Yeah.
it that I think that is beautiful. You don't have to, in some respect. Yeah.
Take what you want from it.
Yeah.
He's called Belly Chop. Then there's Snaky Vag Swan. I can't remember who drew the shape to this one either, but this is where it went a little maturer.
Immature
Yeah.
or maturer?
Immaturer.
Immaturer,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Had a phase.
It happens.
The next one's got quite a good story. This is a custard cream.
Now, I know the backstory behind this. I have the chance to paint tattoos on thousands of people at festivals up and down the UK each year. And I always get asked about tattoos. Have you got any tattoos, any funny tattoo stories? And I always mention that a friend of mine wants the picture of a custard cream on the back of his knee.
Yeah, his knee pit.
His knee pit.
We all tried to work out what the scientific name was for it, and we never found out.
I will see if I can figure that out.
Yeah,
I will try and find that out. If you know, put it in the comments right now. What's the technical official term for your knee pit?
The bit underneath.
That bit, like that, but on there.
But yeah, and he said that custard creams were his favourite biscuit, and he'd always loved them, so he wanted a tattoo that was of something he really loved.
And memorable, something that
Yeah.
he's never going to not love.
So I got him to draw a shape, and it kind of ended up being perfect for a custard cream.
So this was originally outlined by Mr. Ryan Orchard.
Yeah.
No, that's quite freaky. I didn't know that. That's quite freaky indeed. And yet, it
It's
still
the right
manages
shape.
to do.
And it's called Disturbing Harry. And he always looks like, for all the way round, that he's looking away from you. He's just got little bum cheeks all the way round, and then his 2 feet, and then his hair. And no matter what angle you look at him from, it looks like he's looking away. This one has an outline by a friend of ours called Big Joe, or Julian. And he ended up being really cute and sweet, and he goes, "Oh, can you paint that on the side of the toy box for the Waverley Park toy box?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I did a big painting around the toy box, and that ended up being on there. And he's called Bottlenecked David Kaplunk.
There you go. That's lovely. I'll give you one.